D-Man here. Just telling you, I hope you like this video. So let's get in to the video. Enjoy. Hello guys, D-Man here, doing another movie review this time. This time I'm doing Logan. Oh, and boy oh boy is this movie awesome. Let's start off with non-spoilers and then we're going to spoilers later. I do want to say one thing. There is no end credit scene to this movie, so if you watch it, leave the theater once it ends because there's no end credit scene. You'll be sitting there for about like another 10 minutes and nothing will pop up unless you like the credits. So leave the theater if you do not want to watch the credits because there's no end credit scene. But boy oh boy, is this movie fantastic. Freaking fantastic. Let's do non-spoilers first, obviously. So, my thoughts on this movie. um, lot of guts. Well, not like guts, but like a lot of blood, a lot of humor, a few sad parts here and there, but a lot of humor and a lot of fights and a lot of violence. Oh man, it was it's like the Wolverine that he should have been from the beginning. uh, and there's some references in there. There's a reference of what was it again? Not the Eiffel Tower, but the like the first X-Men movie. There's a reference to it when they went to what's that? The Statue of Liberty. There's a reference to that in there. I'm pretty sure it's a reference at least. But there's a reference to that. um, and there might be a reference to a certain somebody who wears red. But I'll tell you that in the spoilers. Oh boy, man, that part. It's worth it just to watch that one part. But there's some references in there. It's really good. Just really good movie all together. That's all I can say without spoiling too much. But anyways, let's get into the spoilers. So if you don't want to hear this, don't listen and go watch it before you hear the rest of this. Then come watch the rest of this. Okay, so the spoilers. Let's start off with the starting scene. It's like a hint, yet at the same time it's like the starting scene, and it is about Deadpool. And oh my god, is it freaking hilarious! Just the way he does stuff is goddamn hilarious. Uh, I don't want to spoil it too much because to watch this movie, that one part is just worth the whole movie. I don't know why, it just is because it's damn well hilarious. Basically, he's in a phone booth. It has references to Superman. Uh, and at the end, he makes fun of Wolverine. How long would Wolverine take to change, huh? Who knows, right? Who knows? And then we move on to the actual movie where we meet up with Wolverine and he's old and he's dying because later on in the movie we find out that he's dying because of his adamantium, or at least that's what he thinks. He's dying because of his adamantium and he thinks it's poisoning him, which it could be, but we never really get a full story on that. We just get like, oh, I'm dying because of my adamantium kind of thing. We never really get the full story on that, but he's dying from it, and he's old, and his healing factors are pretty much gone, and he gets into a fight with this gang, um, and he obviously wins, but at first he gets his ass kicked. He's definitely not the Wolverine that we knew from the other movies. He's more easily gets his ass kicked in this movie because he's just old and slow. And he kind of goes berserker on them, but not full berserker. But he does go, I would say, full berserker at the end. Like, I assume that's what they intended it to be, full berserker at the end. And at the end of the movie, man, that full berserker moment, it reminded me a lot of X-Men 2 when the bad guys were breaking into the mansion and he just went berserk on them and start to kill them. But there's a lot more blood. And through this whole movie, there's a lot of killing, there's a lot of blood, and there's a hell of a lot of swearing. And also, there are one pair of tits, so that's something, right? You get to see one pair of tits if you want to. It's only about 5 seconds long, but you get to see them. um, but anyways, he's driving a limousine now for some reason. He has Professor Xavier in a like a barn silo thing, and Professor Xavier has like mental problems now. We don't know how that happened, but he does now. He has mental problems. And Logan's treating him like a dad, kind of. Like they have this like dad son kind of situation going, and it's really interesting and it's really like heart touching sort of thing. It's really interesting. It's just really interesting to see like this dynamic between them because they're like father and son sort of thing. It's really cool. And Professor Xavier is more of an old man than you would expect. He's not like all Professor Xavier. He's not like, oh well, we got to trust in them and stuff. He does do stuff like that, but most of the time he's just ripping on Logan. Like, I don't want her to turn out like you. It's pretty damn funny. The back and forth between them is pretty damn funny. And his mind is going, so Logan has to like give him these pills to stop his mind from going because his mind basically makes everything go haywire and pretty much will kill anybody if it goes on for too long. It's goddamn crazy. Like this scene right here. This scene right here. That's when his mind goes haywire. And this guy, he's frozen, and Logan can barely walk through it. Like, holy crap, it's crazy. And Jesus Christ, it's goddamn crazy. And the whole time they have X-23, and she's mute the whole time. It's like she's mute for like I would say like halfway through the movie, maybe a little bit more than halfway, maybe like 3/4 or so. I don't think it's 3/4, but I don't think it's halfway. It's probably like in between 3/4 and halfway. But she's mute for a long time. And then she starts talking, mostly in Spanish, but she does say some English words. But she starts talking in Spanish mostly. Professor Xavier, spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear this part's really interesting. I'm going to say it 1, 2, 3. Professor Xavier dies. In this movie, he goddamn well dies. It's 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 touching, let's say the least. Like Logan just standing there, not trying to cry over his grave. He's just like there's water, and you can feel the pain. It was like, oh my god, that's so painful. Like, oh my god, like it's freaking awesome. And it's just like just this magnificent scene. It's just awesome. The family that took them in, you'll see that in the movie too. There's a family that takes them in. They get killed by X-24, and X-24 is an exact copy of Logan, which is crazy. He's an exact copy. I don't know what they call him. I hope he's not Deacon, because Deacon is like I don't know. I think Deacon's an interesting character, and I would like to see him in other movies, but I don't know if we ever will. But I hope that's not Deacon because that would kind of suck. But there's like an exact copy of Logan, and he's like X-24, and it's crazy. This is crazy, man. Um, and then just the humor in it and stuff. It's just freaking awesome. Logan fights his duplicate. He gets his ass kicked. Well, the first time he wins. He kicks the duplicate's ass, but then the duplicate kicks his ass. But then the guy whose family got killed by a duplicate comes out, pins the duplicate to the wall, and kills him. Or he thinks he kills him, but he doesn't because he's Wolverine's duplicate, right? So he comes back to life. Um, but he pretty much kills him, and he almost kills Logan because he looks exactly like Logan, and he's like, what the fuck are you?" But he doesn't say that, but You know that's what he's thinking, like, how dare you do this to my family, sort of thing, because he killed the whole family. It's fuck, it's messed up. It's messed up. But man, it's messed up. And Logan, his healing factor is pretty much gone. It's a crazy movie. Ooh man, it's crazy. This little girl right here, she is awesome. She badass as hell. She awesome. She badass. She awesome. Just like I say that over and over again. She awesome. But man, oh man, those people just get killed, man. Those people just get killed. So after that family gets killed and stuff, they go on the road again. Logan gets hooked up with this doctor, and pretty much all the mutants are gone by now. Oh, this guy's in there too, by the way. He's like a tracker of mutants. He's with Logan at first, but then he tracks them. And in the end, he makes a noble sacrifice by killing himself. It's pretty good. But man, most of the mutants are gone, and it's because of the government, because of one guy that Logan kills. At least I'm pretty sure he did. If I remember correctly, he did. Yeah, he shoots him. Yeah, that's right. He shoots him. So Logan kills him. Uh, but no, the mutants aren't all gone. They're just mostly gone because they wanted to make them into weapons. It's really messed up. So they have a whole bunch of children mutants that they want to make into weapons. It's really messed up. And most of the mutants are gone now. It's just a messed up system, man. It's messed up. And we learn that throughout the movie. It's really interesting. Um, and at the end, of course, we have the big fight scene. The bad guys get defeated, and there's another death. And if you don't want to hear this death, click away right now because I'm gonna say it in 3, 2, 1. Logan gets killed by his doppelganger, and he's dead. Is he dead? Dead? We'll have to wait and see till the next movie. This is supposedly the last movie that he wants to play as Wolverine, though. So I think he's dead, dead. But then again, you never know. You'd never know because I don't know. I just can't say I can't say for sure he's dead, but I guess he's dead as of right now. But I can't say it for sure because I don't want to admit because he dies. Although that last part, where she's crying over his dead, like him dying, it felt a little bit forced. Sorry to say, but it does feel a little bit forced. Uh, it does feel a little bit out of place, kind of thing. Uh, but it's still good, even though it feels a little bit forced. Uh, it feels like I'm watching an actor cry. It just takes you out of the movie a little bit. At least in my personal opinion, it took me out of the movie a little bit. But I don't know. It might not do that to you, but it did that to me. That last part where she cried took me out of the movie a little bit. But that only did that to me. It might not do that to you. But anyways, this movie, goddamn awesome. Barely any problems, except that last part's the main problem I had. And a few parts, you could tell it was CGI. Like the part where he was getting lifted up the mountain, you could tell it was CGI. uh, but yeah, other than those problems, this movie is goddamn fantastic. Uh, 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 5 being average, and 10 being the best. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if I could get this one a perfect 10, but I could give this one a 9.5 because this movie is just that good. It's a 9.5. It's goddamn awesome. Definitely watch this movie just for the beginning part alone. It's that beginning part alone with Deadpool is worth the whole admission price, and the rest of it is worth it too, in my personal opinion. It's dark, it's moody, but there are a lot of funny scenes in there, and some father-daughter bonding. And by bonding, I mean murdering a bunch of people together because that's what Logan does, and his daughter too. And man, when I say she's badass, I mean she badass. And he is badass too. Even though he's slower, he gets hurt more. And like the scenes where you see him in, you're like, he could have took all those people down, uh, easily. But you realize, no, he's slower now. I mean, hell, he can even get drunk, even though in some iterations of Logan he can't get drunk, but in this one he can. He can drink away his problems, which normally wouldn't happen because of his healing factor. But as I said, he's old and he can't heal as much, uh, and his adamantium's killing him because it's poisoning him. Or maybe it's just his mind. I don't know. I don't know if he's dead fully, but in the end he dies, and X-23 gets away with the rest of them, and X-24 gets murdered. The duplicate gets murdered, or he gets his head blown off. But then again, he is Logan's like duplicate, so who knows if he's dead either? You know, I'm thinking he's probably gonna come back. Hopefully not as Dawkins, because I want Dawkins to be Logan's son. I'm just saying, not a duplicate. I'm just saying. But who knows? This movie, fantastic. Watch this movie. You will not regret it. I guess that's enough of my rambling. Sorry if I didn't coherently say it enough. I tried to. It's been a while since I've done a movie review, anyways. But man, this movie is worth it. Watch it. But anyways, that's my review. Hope you liked it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And as always, my friends, stay sane. Peace. Hey guys, D-Man here. Just remind you to subscribe by clicking here. It works on mobile. Or click here to watch my last video. It also works on mobile. Just remember, subscribe and stuff. Alright, bye-bye.